this new course about Python, data analysis using Python. But before writing the code, starting with the codes and all that, we'll need to have some a kind of introduction or basics for Python. Like, why do we use Python? We already have Excel, SQL, Power BI, so why Python? And what tools are available for like using Python for data analysis? And what tool are we going to be using in this course? And the last thing is like the plan that we will be following or will be using in each lesson in this course. So let's start with why Python for data analysis analytics. Why not Excel or SQL? First, because of data size. Data size, we can use Python for huge or massive data sizes or data sets. While in Excel and Power BI, we can just use like medium data sets, like less than a million row. While here in Python, we can use like data sets with millions of rows. The second thing we have is automation. We can apply automation using Python by the code, which is going to be much faster than the automation that we can have in Excel or in Power BI using the GUI or the graphical user interface or the visual basics. But here it is going to be much faster and much easier to write. For SQL, it is kind of okay, but there is like a drawback in SQL that it is only for querying. We cannot use it for visualization. So that's why we can use Python for all. We can use it for querying, we can use it for analysis, and we can also use it for visualization. This is what makes Python much stronger tool to use. The third thing is advanced analytics. Like here in Python, we have some libraries and packages that we can use to apply advanced analytics, like machine learning. While we cannot really have it in Excel or Power BI or even Python or even SQL, okay? So we cannot use advanced analytics. And even if we have some kind of ability, it is going to be like weaker or much weaker than in Python. The fourth thing is integration. Here in Python, we can use Python with other tools like Excel and Power BI. And why we cannot use, for example, SQL with other tools or Excel with other tools? And recently, we already have uh, the Python code integrated in the Excel. So we can write Python codes inside Excel. This makes it even stronger. So this is why we use Python for data analytics. The second thing is the tools that we can use to for writing code in Python. We have the first one, which is Anaconda, which is mostly known for Jupyter Notebook that we can use or write the code in. The second thing, we have VS Code that we already used in SQL course, and we can, well, I'll tell you how we can install it and use it in case that you want to use it. And the third thing that we have is Google Colab, which we'll be using in this course. So now, why do we use Google Colab? First, it is faster to install. To be honest, we don't really need to install it. We can just use it using Google account or Google Drive, and we can open the Google Colab and we can use it. We don't really need to download and install it, like we need to do for Jupyter Notebook or Anaconda or VS Code. So it is faster. Second thing is we'll have like cells to write the code, and the next cells will be to show the results. So it's going to have, we are going to see the code that we wrote, and directly we'll see the code and it will be saved there. And then we can write. So in the end of writing the codes, we'll have cells for codes and cells for result. This is something that we cannot use, we cannot find in tools like VS Code, for example. The third thing is does not does not require processing. Okay, that means that if we need for Anaconda or VS Code, we need to have some kind of powerful a little bit or really powerful uh, PC. Okay, because the processing is going to be inside the PC using the RAM and the heart of the PC. While using Google Colab, all the processing is going to be on the web. So even if you have like weak PC, it doesn't really matter. That will not affect writing the code or getting the results. The last thing that we have, or before we go to the lesson plan, we need to install or prepare the Google Colab. So to use the Google Colab, we need just to go in our Google account, and from here we can click on this icon and go to the Google Drive. And from here we'll get into the Google Drive. We can just right click. We can just get into any folder and then right click. And from here we can go to more and we can click on, yeah, on here, right? And from here we can click on more. It is either we can find it here, or if we don't find it here, we can just get to connect more apps. And from here we can click, we can write Cool Lab and enter. It is Cool Lab. Yes, why not? Cool Lab, yeah. Cool Lab. And from here we have here collaboratory, and we can click on install, continue. Now it is done. So we have it right here. We can just right click, and from more we can have Google Colab. We can click on it and it will be opened right here. And once it is opened, we can just start writing, like renaming the file and start writing the code. So we can here change it to the name that we want. We can say, for example, Python course. We can call it 01 Python course. And this is the name that we'll have for the file. And from here, we can just, we have two types of, let's just close this one. And from here, we can have like two type of cells. The first one is going to be the code, where we can write our code. And the next one, if we want to write text, like a title, like a chapter, or something like that, we can just write it here. We can say, for example, we can say introduction. So here we have, it is going to be, this is text, and this is the code that we'll be writing. And of course, if we want to delete this cell, we can just click on here. So it will be deleted. Let's delete the second cell. So we have, this is the text, and then we have the code. After the code, we can just have other code, or we can just have text. So this is how we can install or start with the Google Colab. If we want to install like VS Code, we can just click and just write VS Code. And from here, we can come to here and we can just download VS Code, and we can be using just VS Code. Like here, download for Windows, it will be downloaded, install it, and use it for writing Python code inside it. So let's get back now into into the lesson plan. Here, the lesson or the way that I'm going to be explaining the lessons for Python, it's going to be the same as we did for SQL or other courses that I already made. First, I'm going to explain the concepts, okay, using this blackboard or using this sketches, drawings, okay. So you have full understanding of what is the concept is about, and then we'll get into Google Colab to write the code and see the result. So this is all for now. See you in the next lesson.